Greenhouse gases are important to the Earth's climate. They allow sunlight to pass through, and when it reaches Earth's surface, some of it's absorbed and converted to heat. Greenhouse gases in the atmosphere help prevent heat from escaping into space and captures the heat in the atmosphere. The name greenhouse effect derives from the process described above. A greenhouse works in a similar manner by capturing heat from sunlight inside the house. The greenhouse effect instead captures heat inside the atmosphere. The greenhouse effect is very important for climate and weather. The greenhouse effect is caused by greenhouse gases. High clouds also contribute to the greenhouse effect. The part of greenhouse effect caused by human activity is called anthropogenic greenhouse effect. It is also sometimes referred as enhanced greenhouse effect. The most important greenhouse gas for climate is water vapor. Water vapor is naturally occurring greenhouse gas and accounts for the largest percentage of greenhouse effect, between 36 and 66. Water vapor concentrates fluctuate regionally, but human activities not directly affect water vapor concentrations except at local scales, for example, near fields. Carbon dioxide. Fossil fuel use is the primary source of CO2. The way in which people use land is also an important source of CO2, especially when it involves deforestation. Land can also remove CO2 from the atmosphere, though reforestation, improvement of soils, and other activities. Also, it is created by a manufacturing process such as producing cement. It stays in the atmosphere anywhere from 50 to thousands of years. Methane. Agricultural activities, waste management, and energy use all contribute to methane emissions. It is created naturally and anthropogenically by man. It is also found naturally in low-oxygen environments such as swamps. Lately, though, man-made sources such as raising cattle and mining have added to the methane environment. It stays up in the air for up to 12 years and traps over 20 times more heat than carbon. Nitrous oxide. Agricultural activities such as fertilizer use are the primary source of nitrous oxide emissions. These types of greenhouse gases started to rise with the Industrial Revolution, when manufacturing goods in factories became widespread. It is caused by the microbial process of soil and water. It has increased the environment because of the processes occurring in fertilizers. It can stay in the atmosphere for over 114 years. It traps about 298 times more heat than carbon dioxide. Chlorofluorocarbons have no natural source and are completely man-made substances such as refrigerants, like in air conditioning and refrigerators. They also include aerosol propellants, which used to be found in hairspray cans, as well as cleaning solutions. Science discovered that CFCs destroy the ozone layer, and so far global efforts to prevent their production has been successful. The levels are now declining, but they last in the atmosphere for over 100 years and will take a long time to dissipate. Fluorinated gases, or F-gases. Industrial processes, refrigeration, and the use of a variety of consumer products contribute to the emissions of F-gases, which include hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride. These have less of an impact on the greenhouse effect because they are less stable in the environment and have a shorter lifetime, but they can trap anywhere from a few hundred to 23,000 times more heat than the same amount of carbon dioxide. Also, these emissions are expected to increase faster than any other kind. Carbon monoxide and other reactive gases. CO, or carbon monoxide, is not directly a greenhouse gas, as it does not absorb terrestrial thermal energy well. However, it can affect methane and ozone. They mostly are emitted by vegetation, but also from car emissions and production of fuel. Estimates are that these greenhouse gases have increased. The greenhouse effect is important to Earth's climate in keeping it in a temperature that sustains life. However, with the increase in harmful greenhouse gases, people on Earth are destroying the Earth's ozone layer. Natural ozone is created when ultraviolet radiation and oxygen interact with the stratosphere. It helps protect the Earth from harmful radiation from space. The IPCC considers ozone the third most important greenhouse gas, after carbon dioxide and methane. It is also created anthropogenically from car emissions and other pollution, which leads to an increase of carbon and nitrogen molecules. The carbon and nitrogen can form ground-level ozone in the troposphere. This does not seem like a problem because ozone is so important. However, it can lead to air quality problems around big cities. The gas most responsible for the current climate change is carbon dioxide, or CO2. The main theory about current global warming is that an increase in the greenhouse effect due to the emission of greenhouse gases caused by human activity is leading to higher temperatures.
The signs of climate change are everywhere. Rain patterns are changing, the sea level is rising, summers are hotter, and there are stronger storms. Also, the glaciers are melting. The negative impacts of global climate change will get worse if we continue producing these gases at our current or faster rates, and less severe overall if people reduce the amount of greenhouse gases we're putting into the atmosphere.